This is my audience. I am Juliana, and I'm going to be talking about worship. And worship is the feeling or expression of reverence for God. And through worship, we actually can receive something tangible. We can actually receive power. We can connect with God and grow closer to Him in worship. We also can gain a refreshing of our spirit in worship. Now, worship is so powerful because, like I said, we can actually receive something from it, whether it be all three or just power, or we grow closer to God and we connect with Him. We ourselves can receive from it. Worship is a tool that we can use anywhere, any place. It just needs to be something you present God with an open heart and in praising Him and thanksgiving, giving thanksgiving to Him. You know, there's power in worship because in Psalms it even states that God inhabits praise. And wherever God is, there is power because He is power. It also says in Psalms 96, exalt the Lord our God and worship at His footstool because He is holy. For the Bible to say worship Him, the Bible that is living, that is moving, that is alive and well, that is relevant to this day, to say that, there's power in that. It even states in, again, Psalms 22, but you are holy enthroned in the praises of Israel. He inhabits His praise. In worship, we find healing, we find transformation, we find breakthrough, and so much more. We give it all to God. We lift up our circumstance. We lift up our problems. We give it to Him. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in my life, in my family's life, of the power of worship. It even says in Luke 4, therefore, if you will worship before me, all will be yours. There is power because His word says there is power in worship. In worship, we also can receive a refreshing of our spirit in it. We gain a freshness from God in worship. You become less focused on your problem, on your circumstance, and more focused on God. You give your attention to Him, you dedicate the song to Him, your time, and you realize that what seemed impossible is not impossible to God, because He is greater, He is bigger, and He was much stronger than the problem or circumstance that you're facing. You give it to Him in worship. It even says in the Bible, cast your cares for my yoke. My yoke is easy laden, it can carry the burden. So in worship, we give that to God because He is well equipped to handle it and take care of it. You realize that your circumstance, your problem was smaller than God. God is bigger and greater. That's making our circumstance seem less heavy. It gives us perspective. And we can find rest in that. And we can find rest in worship because we find rest in God and He inhabits worship. We can also even connect with God in worship. In worship, you can hear His voice. In worship, His Spirit lingers. He changes atmospheres with worship. Worship even, it says in the Bible too, that worship ushers His presence in. We give a little bit of ourselves. We let go of our pride. We don't worry about if anyone's judging worship. It's just you and God. And in that, He moves. We connect with Him in that. In worship, God moves. He speaks. In Deuteronomy 4, it even says, seek the Lord in His strength. Seek His presence continually. And if it says in the Bible earlier that God inhabits His worship, and then it also says seek His presence, where I'm going to seek Him is in worship, because it says in the Bible that He is there. In worship, we seek God in His presence. It's just you and Him. And you see how you can connect with Him through that. Overall, I think I'm just very thankful that I can honor God, that I actually receive something in honoring Him, that I can actually be close to Him and honor Him. I can grow in my relationship with just honoring Him, with just giving thanks, that I can get perspective, that I can feel the atmospheres change around me by worshiping Him. I think there's something so amazing that it even tells us in the Bible to worship. It tells us in the Bible to worship. It tells us in the Bible that there is power in worship. And it tells us that we can go closer to God. It actually says to seek God. And to seek Him, we can find Him in worship. I'm just thankful that I have something that I can receive power from, that I can get a refreshness of my spirit when I need it, and that I can grow closer to God with. Thank you.